Hello everyone, welcome in. This is the first class of section 3, planning the design based on character concepts. This section is titled Drawing the Pose That Fits the Concept, and this is in Okku's Coloso class, up here at the top. How to design stylish and trendy characters for illustrations. So welcome in everyone. Sorry again for the slight delay. My last day for my second job is actually going to be tomorrow, so really exciting stuff. I'll have a lot more time to settle into things and push content, so hopefully I'll be looking forward to a more effective content pipeline for you guys. And then you can keep on top of the content pipeline that I produce just by subscribing to the channel or following me on my socials. I'll link them in later. But we'll dive right into the notes for this class, which, as you can see, was a very, very short class. It was only about like half an hour, and most of it was just a visual process shown by Okku of just really refining the design process that she started, and some tips that she recommends, which to start, after deciding on design, you want to reorient the weapon in the character to remove excessive perspective. This will help make sure that everything is to size, and you can really work out the fine details that might not be shown in the perspective, and it'll help serve more effectively as a character reference sheet. And then you want to use that reorientation of the character to decide pose and subtle features of it as well, as mentioned prior, really help work out the finer details that might be relevant to your design aspects. She mentions that this website, I don't even know how to pronounce this, it's pretty much just I think a Korean or Japanese website, and it's got a huge abundance of anime figurines, so if you're drawing in that style, it makes for really good references, as mentioned in the prior sections. And the main 2 points that must be done in order to refine a design effectively that she pretty much spent the entire lecture doing was deciding the theme, and then designing a pose that supports the theme, and then using those two aspects to slowly refine your character design over time. You want to keep in mind the character personality while drawing, which is also going to be relevant to designing a pose that supports the theme. So a relevant example, Okku's designing a sort of pure healer. Because of that, she's not going to have a very broad stance or a very outwards pose because it's not going to be representative of the character's personality. So you want to keep that in mind as you're designing and narrowing down these design aspects. And the goal is to pretty much just refine the design details and separate the elements out from one another that you may have grouped in when just trying to get a sketch down. So for the finer details, where do certain sections end and others begin, and really set the borders on those clearly. That way your line art and effective refining later is a little more clear and much easier to do. So a quick summary to all of this, just decide the theme of the character in order to refine the design concepts that support it, with the idea that you're communicating the character visually using visual characteristics such as pose, personality, etc. And then the self-assigned homework is to just choose one design from the concept work that we did in 2.5 and begin refining the elements of their design. I'll leave a link to the 2.5 section review in the description. It's also going to be the previous lecture at the tail end of this video that's linked, just to help you reference back to that in case you do not remember the work that we did in 2.5. So that was section 3.1, like I said, a very, very short one, and it's pretty much just more of a process shown. It was pretty cool watching it, so if you're following along on Coloso with Okku's course, I'd highly recommend just sitting down and watching how Okku kind of defines different sections of her character design in order to better refine her character sketch. The next section is going to be focused on the weapon/tool design that is associated with our character, which is also going to lend itself to refining the theme and the pose that we support. So keep in mind pretty much every design class after this one is going to depend on these two aspects. So make sure these are dialed in after this lecture if you're following along. As always, you guys can keep on top of further uploads, other content, etc. on my socials. I'll link them around here. That way you guys can check them out if you'd like to. And as always, thank you guys so much for showing in this lecture review, and I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to have a good day now. Bye-bye.